Here's something I want you to notice about your own walking. If you've started shuffling a little, taking smaller steps than you used to, or you don't pick your feet all the way up off the ground anymore, I need you to stay with me because this is one of the most important videos I'll make this year. That one small change, not lifting your feet up fully when you walk, is one of the biggest reasons seniors trip and fall. It sounds too simple to matter, but it's the reason a rug edge, a curb, or a crack in the sidewalk catches your foot when it never used to before. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly why this happens, the small habits that often come along with it, and then I'm going to stand up with you right here on camera and show you exactly how to fix it, step by step. We'll also walk through your own home together, looking at the hidden hazards most people never think about until it's too late. Stay with me to the end, because the last part may matter the most of all. I'm Dr. Evander Hale. I've spent 30 years practicing functional medicine, looking past the surface problem to find what's really going on underneath. Today, we're talking about something simple, the way you walk, and how one small habit can either protect you or put you at risk. By the end of this video, I want you to feel confident, not worried. Here's what's actually going on. As we get a little older, your brain starts paying less close attention to exactly where your feet are. It's not that anything is broken, it's more like your brain stops babysitting your feet as carefully as it used to when you were younger. At the same time, the muscles in your hips and thighs that lift your leg up with each step can get a little weaker if you're not using them much throughout the day. Put those two things together, and your foot starts skimming closer to the ground instead of clearing it properly with each stride. You're not doing anything wrong on purpose. Your body is just quietly cutting a small corner. And most people never notice until something catches their foot at the wrong moment. This is not a sign that something is seriously wrong with you. It's incredibly common. And the good news is that it responds very well to a small amount of consistent practice, which is exactly what we're going to do together in just a few minutes from now. The first habit that often comes along with shuffling is looking down at your feet while you walk. It feels safer. Your mind says, if I watch my feet closely, I won't trip on anything. But it actually works against you in two separate ways. First, it throws off your balance because your body naturally balances better when your head and eyes are upright and looking forward instead of down at the ground. Second, it slows down how quickly you can react if you do start to stumble, because your eyes aren't scanning the path ahead of you for the next hazard before you actually reach it. I understand why this habit forms. It comes from a real, reasonable fear of falling that most of us develop with age. But the safer habit is actually the opposite of what feels safe in the moment. Looking ahead, even just a few feet in front of you, instead of straight down at your shoes, gives your brain more time to notice a curb, a step, or an uneven patch of sidewalk before you're already on top of it. The second habit is taking smaller, quicker steps, often without even realizing you're doing it at all. This usually comes from the same place as looking down, a quiet nervousness about falling that builds up over time. The thinking goes, if my steps are smaller, I'm safer from falling. But small, rushed steps are actually less stable than slower, fuller steps would be. Think about it this way. A longer, slower step gives you a wider base to balance on for a moment before your weight shifts forward onto it. A short, quick step keeps you constantly off balance, moving your weight forward before your foot has really settled into place underneath you. This is one of the more surprising things I explain to my own patients because it goes against what feels intuitive to most people. The instinct to protect yourself by taking smaller steps is actually working against you the whole time. If you noticed yourself doing this while I described it just now, that's completely normal. And it's exactly why I wanted to make this video for you today. Before we stand up and practice together, there are two more things worth mentioning because they make everything we just talked about either better or noticeably worse. The first is footwear. Loose slippers, shoes without proper backs, or socks alone on a hard floor all make it much easier for a foot that isn't lifting fully to catch on something unexpected. A simple supportive shoe with a back on it, even just around the house, makes a real difference here over time, and it costs you nothing extra to simply put one on each morning. The second is lighting. Many falls happen in hallways, bathrooms, or staircases that are dimmer than people realize, especially during the evening hours after dark. If you've ever hesitated for a second in a dark hallway, unsure exactly where the step or doorway is located, that hesitation itself can throw off your balance in that moment, even before you take a single step. A simple nightlight left on every single night removes that hesitation almost completely. These aren't dramatic changes. They're small adjustments that work alongside the walking practice we're about to do together right now. Now, here's what I want you to do. If you have a sturdy chair, a countertop, or a wall nearby, go ahead and stand up next to it right now so you have something to hold on to if needed. We're going to do this together, right here, step by step. First, just stand still and look straight ahead at me, not down at your feet at all. Now lift your right knee up like you're marching in place, higher than you normally would when walking, and place your foot down, heel first, deliberately. Now the left side. Same thing, knee up, heel down first. We're not walking far, just a few steps in place for now. Notice how different that feels compared to your normal shuffle around the house. That higher lift is exactly what we're trying to bring back into your everyday walking, a little bit at a time. Take your time with this. There's no rush at all here. If you felt a little wobbly doing that, that's exactly why we're practicing slowly, near something sturdy to hold on to. Now, let's add one more piece, because this is where a lot of falls actually happen, turning around in place. Many people shuffle their feet in a tight little circle when they turn, which is one of the least stable ways to change direction at any age. Instead, while you're still holding on to that chair or counter, practice this with me now. Take a small step to turn your body, rather than twisting at the waist while your feet stay planted in one spot the whole time. Step, then step again, slowly rotating your whole body in the direction you want to face, rather than pivoting on just one foot alone. This feels slower at first, and that's completely fine. Slower is exactly the goal we're after here, not speed. A wider stepped turn gives you a stable base the entire time you're changing direction, instead of one brief moment where you're balanced precariously on a single twisting foot. Practice this turn a couple of times right now in both directions while you have something nearby to hold on to, just in case. One more moment that deserves real attention: sitting down into a chair and standing back up again. Many falls happen right here, either dropping into a chair too quickly because you misjudged the distance behind you, or pushing up too fast afterward and feeling briefly dizzy as a result. Practice this with me right now. When you sit, reach back slightly with your hand to feel for the chair arm or seat before you lower yourself down, rather than just trusting it's exactly where you expect it to be. When you stand, push up slowly using the chair arms if they're available, and pause for just a second once you're upright before you start walking anywhere at all. That brief pause matters more than people realize because it gives your blood pressure a moment to adjust properly, which can prevent that dizzy, unsteady feeling some people get right after standing up too fast from sitting. Try it now. Sit down slowly, then stand up slowly, and pause for one full second before taking your first step forward into the room. This single pause, done consistently, can quietly prevent a lot of unnecessary stumbles. As you start practicing this on your own between now and our next video together, there are a few common mistakes I want to help you avoid along the way. The first is overdoing it on day one, trying to walk a long distance with the new higher step right away before your muscles are ready for it. Start with just 10 steps once or twice a day, not a full walk around the entire block right out of the gate. The second mistake is practicing only when you happen to remember, rather than attaching it to something you already do every single day, like walking from your bedroom to the bathroom each morning. The third mistake is getting discouraged if it feels awkward at first, because honestly, it will feel awkward for a while at the start. You're asking old muscles to do something they haven't been asked to do in a specific, deliberate way in a long time. That awkwardness is actually a normal sign the practice is working, not a sign that something is wrong with you. Now, I want you to think through your own home with me, almost like we're walking through every room together right now in your mind, step by step. Picture your main hallway. Are there any loose rubs without a non-slip backing underneath them anywhere along the floor? Picture your bathroom. Is the path from your bed to the bathroom clear at night? Or is there a cord, a low table, or a pet bed somewhere along that exact path? Picture your kitchen. Is there a step or a slightly raised threshold between rooms that you stopped noticing because you walk over it every single day without thinking twice about it? These are the hazards that this walking habit makes far more dangerous than they need to be. A foot that lifts fully clears most of these without any problem at all. A foot that shuffles catches on almost all of them eventually, sooner or later. I'm not asking you to renovate your home. I'm simply asking you to spend 5 minutes today walking through it with fresh eyes. That small bit of attention now can prevent a much bigger problem later on. I want to be honest with you about when this simple practice isn't enough on its own to keep you fully safe. If you've already had a fall in the past year, if your balance feels seriously unsteady, even while standing perfectly still in one place, or if you find yourself reaching for furniture constantly just to feel secure walking through your own home, That's worth a real conversation with your doctor and likely a referral to a physical therapist as well. A physical therapist can properly test your balance, your strength, and your walking pattern in real detail and build a plan specific to your exact situation beyond what any video could ever offer you. This isn't me trying to send you away from this video or discourage you from practicing. It's me being honest that some situations deserve a closer hands-on evaluation from a trained professional. For most people watching today, the daily practice we just did together is genuinely enough to make a real difference over time. But please don't ignore repeated unsteadiness, hoping it simply resolves on its own with no real plan. Here's why I spent this much time today on something that might seem small at first glance. A fall after 70 is rarely just an injury. It's often the moment everything changes for someone. A hospital stay, a recovery that takes months, sometimes a permanent loss of the independence you've worked your entire life to keep for yourself and your family. Most people don't think about their walking pattern until after that fall has already happened to them, when it's much harder to undo the damage that's been done. I'd much rather stand here with you today, before anything has happened, and spend a few minutes practicing something that feels almost too simple to matter much at all. Because the truth is, it's not really about the shuffle itself. It's about everything that shuffle quietly protects. Your ability to stay in your own home, make your own decisions, and keep living life on your own terms for as long as possible going forward from here. That's what this small daily practice is actually defending for you every single day in a way that's easy to overlook until it's gone. This is exactly why I make these videos. Not just to tell you information from a distance, but to actually walk through it with you, literally, in this particular case today. If this helped you notice something about your own walking today, please send it to a parent, a spouse, or anyone you know who could use this small fix right now in their own life. Comment below and tell me, did you notice yourself shuffling, looking down, or taking smaller steps before I even mentioned it out loud just now? I read every single comment, and it tells me exactly what to cover next on this channel for you. If you want more simple, practical changes like this one, please subscribe to this channel today before you go. And as always, this video is for educational purposes only, not personal medical advice. Please talk to your own doctor before starting any new exercise routine, especially if you have a condition that affects your balance in any way at all. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.